Hello YouTube, PSPHaCkErAOD here, and today we're going to be showing you how you stack objects in Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PlayStation 2 and for the PC. And this works on other Tony Hawk games as well, but this is the one we're going to be showing you. Anyway, stacking objects looks kind of like this. You can see on the computer screen I got a bunch of things put on top of each other that you normally can't do. I'll load a better example. You see all kinds of stuff just stacked on top of each other. Alright, so we're starting off with a fresh park. What we're going to do is we're going to find the objects we want to stack, and let's say for fun we'll stack I guess we'll stack the Jeep for fun. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to find the spot you want the object to be. We'll say we want it to be right here, I guess. Place the first one down, and that's where our object's going to be stacked. And then we'll put another one or two or three or however many you want to stack next to each other. And then what you'll do is you'll save the park, and you'll save it as something you'll know. So we'll call this YouTube, and we'll save that. Now you're going to want to search on your computer for that file, and we know where ours is. We have it shortcutted to the desktop, so here's the file, youtube.prk, and what you do is you open it with a hex editor, and you'll see the park's name's YouTube and some other information up at the top. Don't worry about that. Scroll down, and you're going to see a ton of zeros, but you're going to find this small little section right here. And if you have stuff already in the park, it'll be bigger. Basically, as you go down, it'll just keep filling in order of what order you place down the objects in your park. So when I'm going to stack something, I don't just keep putting something. I'll put the objects I'm going to stack, then I'll stop and stack them, then put more stuff in the park. Basically, you're going to see all the symbols here. You're going to look over here. Here's how you read this. Basically, there's for every item, you have basically 3 numbers, a space, and then 1 number by itself. The D4 is the object, which is the Jeep, and then the 29, 24 is where it's located. And because we placed them all in a row, they're on axis line 24, 24, and you can see 24, 24. Now, the 40 right here, that represents that they're on the ground. If they're less than 40, they'll be underground, and if they're above 40, they'll be above ground. And the other thing about this, if it doesn't say 40, it says 41, 42, 43. Basically, what that means is that's the direction that the item's facing. So, if you change this to 41, it'll make the car or your objects facing a different direction. And the increments go in 4s. So basically, say we want to stack it up, like we want to have it floating one spot in the air, we'll change this 4 to 44. Say we want it to be up 2 spaces, it'll be 48. 3 spaces will be 4C, and then to make it the next space up, it'll go to 50. So if you want it to go up 4 spaces, you would just change it from a 40 to a 50. And yeah, basically we're gonna make ours so they're all on the same axis. So our first axis was 29, so we're gonna put them all on axis 29. Oop, I wrote 28. 29. So now they're all on axis 29, 24. And then The first one we're going to leave alone at 40 because we want it to be on the ground. Then we're going to come over to our next one, and we want to raise it 2 up. So we're going to make this 48. Otherwise, if we wanted to raise it up 1 spot, we'd put it as 44, but we want it to go up 2 spots. So then our next one is going to be 50 because again we want it to go up 2 spots. And then our last one, we'll make this one flipped. So we'll make this one go up to, so we'll put 48 so it's up 2 spaces, but then because we want to rotate it, we'll make it, instead of 58, to rotate it we'll make it 59, so it'll be facing a different direction than the other cars. Then we just save it, and then once it saves, you can just go back to your game, load park, and there you go. See, they're stacked and the one's facing the opposite direction. Stacking different objects is a little bit different. Basically, we're going to put a half pipe on top of this building here. So what we do is we put the building down first, then we go over next to it. I'm using a controller I have on the side. Basically, we want to figure out how high up it needs to be, so we'll raise the building up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know it needs to go up 8 spaces to be on top of this object. So I'll just lower this back down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll to the object we want to use, which is going to be the half pipe. And then we're going to basically, let me see, how do I flip this on here? Alright, so we're going to want it to be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the building, and I'm going to put down the half pipe. Then I'm going to save. Alright, now that it's saved, we'll go back to our, now that it's saved, oh my god, now that it's saved, we'll go back to our hex editor, and we'll see that it's item 77, because it's the next thing on our list, and it's in spot 15, 6C, facing on ground level 43. So now what we're going to do basically is we're just going to write down the coordinates of where this is, because it's not going to be on the same axis as the other building. It could be if you're lucky, but it's not going to be on the perfect same axis because they're different size objects. So write that down. Alright, so now that it's written down where that is, what you're going to do is you're going to get your building out that you want to put there. Oops. Going to put the building where you want it to be. We deleted the quarter pipe to put the building there. Then you're going to get the quarter pipe again. Or half pipe, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Half pipe, that's what it is. Anyway, we're going to place it next to the object and we're going to save. And because you wrote down the coordinates of where it was going to be, that's where we're going to put in now. Alright, so now you'll see that this is the building, BC14 6C, and you'll see that our half pipe 7715 5C, and what we wrote down was it needs to be at 15 6C. So we're going to put it at 15 6C. Oop. And then it's 43, and we need to make it go 8 up higher. So it's actually pretty easy. If you have to raise it up 4 high or 8 high, if you had to raise it up 4 high, you'd just change it to a 5. If you have to raise it up to an 8, you just make it a 6. Because basically, in hexedit, numbers in order are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then it starts over at 0. You can kind of see up here, it even tells you on this hex editor. So basically, in order to raise an object, you're going in increments of 4. So every 4 increments you increase, it raises it up 1 slot. So anyway, now that we have it in the correct location and at the correct height, we go ahead and save. Then we go into our park, reload it again, and now it should be on top of the building. There you go.